What was different about recording the album this time? Did you do it differently, or it was the same as the others?
A little bit. I mean, some things were same, some things were different. One of the biggest differences is that half of this album we did it in 2 sessions. The first one was recorded in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And we recorded with a band live in a room. So we kept we had a bit more of a raw energy for that, So we recorded 6 songs there with a drum, with Joe Nunez and Marty O'Brien on bass. So we kept drums and bass, and then I did overdubs later. And then I came back to Greece, and then we did another 6 songs in a different session, but it was done more like the normal way, drums first and then everything else.
Yeah. So you tend to record the album sometimes always in Greece. So why is that? Did you want to keep it home, or?
Well, I live here, so that's why.
Yeah, it's easier for you then.
Of course, yes. Yeah.
Yes. And you tend to maybe control everything about the recording of this album. You also want to do the production and everything. So would you say that you are some sort of control freak or something like that?
Of course I am, yes. Of course, yeah, to the absolute maximum you can imagine, yes.
Right.
I like collaborating with people. I like getting stuff, I like getting, influences from people and, co-writing songs with them. It's not just about me, but, I like to control things, with the product, of course, how it's going to be, everything, from the artwork to the mixing to how everything's going to sound, how it's going to look. I even have my own record label in America. I mean, I'm releasing the album through my own label now, so that way I don't have to fucking argue with any label executive.
Yeah.
Asshole. So I just, I pick my own team and they work for me, so I enjoy doing that.
Yeah. So it means that maybe you don't, I don't know, trust in, or maybe because you had bad experiences in the past, you want to do it all yourself?
Well, the thing is, it comes down to, nobody's going to do it better than you. I believe in that, so, especially people in record labels these days, there's no money in the industry anymore, so you go to these record labels and they have all these people that are underpaid, or there's some young kids that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And, I can't have that, I'm not 20 years old anymore, so I'm very serious when it comes to, how you're going to release, how you're going to promote and brand an album. And, this is my career we're talking about. So I am having some issues with, having, and I mean, I've been with Central Media and a lot of labels for many, many years. So
yeah,
I don't tolerate stupidity as much as I used to when I was younger.
All right. And do you think that these kind of releases also always needs guest musicians, or you are not fond of having someone working with you?
I mean, the thing is, I want to have guests. That's why I have them,
Yeah, exactly.
I like to co-write with other people, so that's why I do that,
Exactly. And also, you mentioned before that this was recorded in like a live session with the band itself. Do you consider Gus G as a band, or maybe just a solo project of you doing, besides working with others?
Right now, it's a solo project, that it's just me and a lot of friends that I play with,
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. I look at this as a big, like an open door, like people can come into my house and we can jam, that's how I look at it. And somebody, all these guys that I play with, they have other bands, they have other obligations. Matt Levin, he sings in Candlemass, and Jeff Scott Soto has a solo career as well. And, Elise has, Amaranth, and, Marty plays with Lita Ford. So, everybody do their own thing, and then whenever they're available, they can play with me, and then they're happy to be there. And I want to work with people that are happy to be there, really. So, and, if somebody cannot be there for a gig or a tour, then it's okay. Somebody else comes in, and then, we can always play again on the next tour. So I want to approach it that way. So there's no drama, there's no commitment to be in a band, I mean, I have a band already, so.
Yeah, exactly. And is there someone that you wanted to work with and you couldn't yet? Maybe you want to have someone else in your next record, maybe?
No, not really, I mean, the people that I want to work with, I did that, so, I mean, I have, a lot of people in my mind for the future, but we'll see, we'll see what happens.
Exactly. And well, do you think that releasing these Gus G albums maybe release you of the stigma of always being there? Well, Firewind, Ozzy Osbourne, like releasing these albums make you stand on yourself for your name, besides of being part of another band?
Well, the thing is, my name always helped Firewind, because I always
Yeah,
had a name in the scene from other bands as well, so it did help build up Firewind. So I don't think I think for a lot of fans, probably it makes sense. It doesn't surprise them.
yeah,
Maybe some people even expected that I would do that at some point. So, it's good that I'm doing this now, and it's something different from what I do with Firewind.
hmm
And of course, Ozzy's another platform. It's another level of exposure. So that's the kind of thing where it gives you that platform to be able to do a solo record and do all these things.